Greetings! Welcome to the Devlog for update 104 of hot dogs, horseshoes, and hand grenades. We're going to start off as always with a quick sound check. Make sure speakers aren't up too high. Get it. Get it. Come on, you can do it. Higher, baby. Nope, we're not going to get it. Could not hit that at that distance. Not wonderful at all. Anywho, what have we got for you this week? Well, we have got the main branch release of Update 104 that has our improved item spawner functionality for saving, loading loadouts and such. Obviously, it isn't available in every scene yet. That's something that's going to keep being worked on into Update 105 and beyond. But we got some sweet toys to check out. We'll get to you in a moment. Let us take a look at a beautiful new set of GATs that was donated by a community member, Colin, that are absolutely gorgeous. That's right, we finally have the Mini-14. Just look at you. In two configurations, the classic and the GB, or government barrel, which was made popular and famous by the A-Team, I believe. Pop that in there. We've got a rail adapter that is bespoke, if we wish to use that, which we do. I'm going to just pop. This thing's a little garish for this rifle, but that'll do us good. And to properly test it out, I'm not even going to fire this yet. I'm going to put this here. We're going to go over to the new toy that I'm sure tons of you will find horrendous things to do later today with, which is our Flinger. This is available in the item spawner under the target section. It can be picked up and moved around. It seems to have a default pose behavior that I don't want. I'll have to fix that later. Wouldn't be a devlog without a bug. And the way this works is that we can just take any object that the item spawner can spawn in a base configuration, put it on the scanning plinth, scan it. You can see we have a scanned object, watermelon. And this is basically like a more complex version of the object thrower that is in the friendly 45C. Now you can put this anywhere you want. We can change our launch elevation, straight 30 degrees, 45, 60. We can change our launch velocity. We'll just go down to 6 meters a second. Our spread, if we want it to like have a little bit of an angle to it or not, maybe 5 degrees. The auto delete, so how soon after firing it does it delete? I'll set this to 10 seconds. What else? And we'll just do a short program length. We'll do the 3 waves, maybe 2 targets apiece, 3 seconds in between. And we can choose to start this immediately or in 5 to 10 seconds if we need a sec to get settled. All right, I have no idea how fast this is going to come out. Are we on? Oh, hey, those barely come off. Oh, come on. Oh, helps to charge our weapon. There we go. Let's give that more than 6 meters a second. Let's try this again. Do. Got one. Woohoo! Got the third one. Awesome. So yeah, so we can do all sorts of stuff with this. We can make this higher if we want, set it more to like 15. Basically, when they fire in a given wave, there's like 0.2 seconds in between them, so you can actually just have this like go wild with them. Yeah, we'll do 5. That'll be fun. Oh, hit start now. Oh, far too much fun. So yes, you can set yourself up all sorts of programs. All of the settings for this are saved as well. So let's say you're in a scene that supports scene saving, which I know barely any of them do yet, but patience. In 105, it'll go more wide in the game. You can set this up in a specific place, set up your favorite program, and just have it ready to go. And of course, this can shoot more than watermelons. It has some fun functionality, like if we Man, I barely use this old one anymore. I don't know where to find anything. Grenades, there we go. So I'm pretty sure if I coded this right, this should work with impact grenades. I never tested it, though. I just wrote the code. So, scan object. Okay. 45 degrees. Let's give that a little more launch velocity. 25. 50. A little more spread. And start now. Oh, the auto delete might delete them before they hit the ground. Yeah. Let's go auto delete 30. Let's see, did it prime them? I don't see their little caps. Nope, they're just landing on the ground. Yet another bug. That was meant to be hilarious. That was supposed to actually fuse the grenade when it shot them, but it didn't. I must have messed this up. Does this work with a pinned grenade? Do. It's supposed to fire off a fancy little co-routine and everything. Oh, those are fusing. Huh? Wonderful. So the impact grenade, it does not work for, but for pinned grenades, it most certainly does. So I'm sure just ideas are exploding in many of your heads now, seeing that you can do that. So, but yeah, and of course this is for those of you who would rather, once again, shoot at targets instead of just fling grenades from it. A reminder, goodness. So to practice with this, that these were the clays were given a little bit of a refresh, so the behavior is a little bit better. Launch velocity, yeah, let's go 15 meters a second, which is, I think, regulation for a sporting clay is about 15. It's like 14.8 meters a second. 30 degrees. 3. Cool. We are chambered. Let's try this one more time. Oh! Still have widespread set. Launch spread. Yeah, let's do that. Let's see if we can get him. That's hard. Got one, got two. Whew. That's a challenge. Probably a good deal easier with buckshot. So, but there you have it. There is our thing Flinger, and our M14. Ooh, I forgot to mention, I made a big change. Do these show? Yeah, they do show up in the oldie, thankfully. With all of our steel pop targets here, a number of you were liked the fact that they have this auto resetting functionality, but for setting up certain sorts of like competition courses and such, you would want this target to go down in one shot, so you could actually, like, say, fire 5 shots, see 5 hits, etc. You can click with a laser this toggle switch here, so off, that just knocks down like that, and then we can reset it like so. So if you want to set up a whole course with these and then knock them down and have them stay down, you now have the ability to toggle that functionality, and this functionality, like everything else new, is saved. So yeah. Whew. So there you have it. I hope this is all exciting to you. I know I have been just having way too much fun playing around with these. Just doing dumb things like this. And just... yeah. Cool. Well, let's jump out of VR. See what else is going on with this update. Yeah. Yo! So yeah. So, thing Flinger in. I must admit, I've been having a lot of fun with it. Just be aware that it doesn't really have certain sorts of safeties in it. So this means that if you attempt to spawn an object that is like larger than the distance between its muzzle point and the rest of it, it will, well, I'll let you discover on your own what happens. But suffice to say, it is designed primarily to shoot things about this big, but it will let you shoot anything that comes out of the item spawner regardless of size, and that can have all sorts of fun ramifications. So yeah, but beyond that, I tweaked some other little things involving the targets. I think I have finally fixed the like physics joint weird, like constraint weirdness with the dueling tree. And the way it now behaves is that if you pick up the dueling tree at any point and then release it, even if you don't move it, even if you just grab a release like that, it will reset the positions of all the targets. So that should hopefully make it much faster for you to like set those up initially. So yeah, so that's in there, the steel pop targets. And then I don't know how much of you, this has been in the changelog, but I haven't really covered it in the devlogs. But basically, Sosa gun recoil has been given like a major redesign. They all kick way more, especially on full auto. And part of this is basically centered around trying to balance them around the rest of the game's arsenal for take and hold, especially at a higher competitive level. So that system was completely rebuilt, just like the way they compute their recoil. During the sort of experimental phase, I did several phases of testing with like Putter, and who's one of the first to worst community heads. And so yeah, what that basically means is that if you haven't picked up a Sosa gun in a while, like during this alpha experimental, you may be a little surprised. They are, once again, like they're designed to be emergency weapons that you pick up. They are not designed to be better than player weapons, and a few of them were. Like the M16 Sosa gun was just a laser beam when you fired it full auto. So that has been fixed. So they all feel, I think, appropriately, it's largely a nerf. They kick like crazy now, but I think it's appropriate for that game mode. And it's set up to make it so that like you are still being primarily encouraged to use player weapons. You can use a Sosa gun in a pinch, but if there's an opportunity to have a player weapon in that slot, in most cases, you should never be choosing to put a Sosa gun there instead, even if you can like reload them at the ammo stations. So, which actually, that just reminded me, there's a bug where the ammo stations aren't reloading them at all, even when that's enabled. So I need to fix that. So yeah, but that's just to give you an idea. That's what update 104 is. Man, I'm just like rambly today. This has been super exhausting to get working, and I know that like so much of the cool new save and load functionality is in the new item spawner, and the new item spawner is like only in a couple scenes. Patience. I want to slow roll out some of those feature sets, especially because of the fact that item spawner can save and load the configuration of a scene. Many of the sandbox scenes have like older versions of destructible targets in them, or they have things that don't save and load at all. Like even the Arizona scene there has like that chair and a couple of those boxes and the soda bottles, like the glass bottles on the fence and such. Those are all things that aren't save loadable yet. And so basically when I have the time to completely refresh, rebuild all of the things that exist in a sandbox scene, reconfigure it using the new system, that'll be when you see the new item spawner pop in. So update 105's cycle is going to basically be focused on that. Is going to be like me going in, polishing the content of the sandbox scenes and developing our new sort of sandbox tools, which you've seen a little preview of, the sort of the piss tools that will come out of the toolbox. That's what update 105 is going to be about. And so if you are playing with whereas the 104 in a big way was about making sure this all was stable enough and like worked with the mods, and working with the modders to make sure that was all, didn't blow itself up, and sort of doing progressive tests in larger scales of that. Now it'll be on main branch. All the mods can finish updating. Everyone who is using lots of mods, once this goes live on the main branch today, you better make sure that your mods are up to date for it. sort of thing, because a whole bunch of stuff was changed for serialization and such. But yeah, but now that that's all been sort of like demonstrated to work, I can now actually go through the process of converting as much of the game's content over to those systems as possible and just making it unified, with the idea then that like once that all works and once those sandboxes are set up, folks will, and this new sandbox tool set is built, folks will really be able to finally make scenarios in H3, which is something that those of you who've been following these devlogs since the beginning know that I have attempted this twice before. I can't even remember what the first version of it was called. But then the second version, sort of the idea was something called Game Planner. And both of those times I ran aground. I just was like, I'm not a good enough programmer for this. This is too much work. And I just would flame out of it. And I've just learned enough, and I've gotten some help from some really talented people along the way, that I'm finally able to take a run at it, and it's going into the game one piece at a time. I'm super excited about it. So yeah. So there are incredibly exciting things to come over the rest of this summer, and into the fall with H3, with, you know, saving and loading, scenario building, new fun tools. It's going to be a blast. So, as always, if you run into issues with any of the new stuff, post in the bug report section of the Steam forum. But obviously, if you're running modded in any capacity, or have ever had mods installed on your install, check in with, you know, the various modding communities first to make sure that your configuration is correct before assuming that something is broken in the game. So yeah, hope you all have a wonderful weekend, and I'll see y'all soon. Peace.